Hey guys, I'm the Thoughtful Beast and welcome back to my vlog. Today we're talking about cPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So I just came out with a video that you can find here, which was more about what is cPTSD, and here are symptoms. Maybe you have it, maybe you don't. It's a good thing to know about. I have it, and that's what we're talking about today. So, it's time to get personal. So, not only do I have cPTSD, but I also have PTSD. And if you haven't watched the video, basically, PTSD can occur after a singular traumatic event, and cPTSD usually develops out of a very prolonged traumatic threatening event. Yeah, so it's like, one of the big differences is duration. Duration and amount of time. That means duration. Okay, I'm blabbering. cPTSD isn't actually recognized by the DSM-5, which to me is annoying because I think they can be very different. There are more symptoms with cPTSD because the impetus, the reason why you have it, the situation is just so different. One of the things I have cPTSD from is when I was young, my neighbor went all crazy and threatened to kill my family, and I had to talk him down, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And that whole thing gave me PTSD, and then I also have cPTSD because I was in a long-term form of abuse by a family friend. They both meet in the middle where there's a lot of fear symptoms. One of my biggest symptoms that can be a symptom of both is avoidance. So I was a workaholic for a really long time just because I didn't want to deal. I didn't want to face my trauma. My family doesn't really know. I kind of dealt with it myself because they kind of had things going on, and I was that kid who was just I don't want to add to anyone's burden or stress, so I just kind of what's the expression, took it on the chin and just kind of went on with life, which I know a lot of people do, and it sucks because going through all that trauma by yourself sucks. It's awful. It is quite awful. I really wanted to talk about cPTSD and having it because I know a lot of people go through trauma. cPTSD is usually associated with childhood trauma, and I think there are a lot of us out there with cPTSD, and we don't know it, and we just feel like we're broken people and messed up little kids who are now just old and we don't know what to do with life. And having the diagnosis and understanding what the disorder has really helped me understand why I lived the way I lived, and then the choices I made, especially a lot of the poor choices I made, or even the choices where I was heavily trying to be a good person. I was a fixer. I really needed to be a fixer for adults. I just needed to fix the problem. I needed to make sure everything was okay. And that was a reaction to my trauma. And I know there's a lot of us out there who are like that. And, people don't want to talk about trauma. People don't want to talk about their own trauma, and I totally understand that. It's obviously not easy. I'm having a hard time now. But I'm doing it because I think it's really important, and I think I have the capacity to right now. No one should have to share their story if they don't want. You should always definitely share your story when you are ready. And when you can, thank you. Thank you. Because there is still a lot of stigma about mental illness. A lot of people just think, if you have something like cPTSD, you're just this violent, awful mess, maybe on the floor, or just maybe hurting people. And that's not true. That's not true. Here I am making a video for YouTube trying to help other people. And yes, I have it, and I have the disorder. going back, having the diagnosis has helped me a lot, knowing, so I could know how to deal, and I can try to redo my behavioral patterns of trying to be everyone's super savior, trying to fix things for everyone, and avoiding my own problems, which obviously caused more problems for me. And also, when you know and you meet other people, like, who know too, like, oh my gosh, like, it's just so validating, like, honestly. Like, the subreddits, like, cPTSD and cPTSD memes, like, holy crap. I don't know, dude, it, like, hits me. Like, it hits me right in the neck. It's just so spot on, like, the things that people say, the memes that people say, and yes, you have to know that on the subreddit, like, you know, it's complex post-traumatic stress disorder. There's a lot of dark things on there, and so, you know, if that's not helpful to you, don't look at that subreddit. For me, like, the dark humor and stuff can be really helpful. Honestly, it's so crazy how, like, we're not alone, and I feel like those two subreddits in particular for me, like, really hit home. Like, it's just like, oh yeah, no, I know exactly what that is. And it feels so validating, and at the same time it can be really sad, because then, you know, like, you know, it's nice that it's just like, oh, I'm not the only one, and then it's also sad because it's just like, crap, I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people out there who have suffered like I have, who have gone through a lot of stuff and who are struggling just to figure out how to live, because living is hard. Yeah. And again, you know, a lot of my cPTSD developed in childhood, and I think that happens for a lot of people. And I'm probably circling back, but it's just like something that I want. Like, I don't want to say like, you have cPTSD, everyone has cPTSD, but I feel like everyone should have that chance to look at themselves and look back and just be like, oh, I'm not messed up. Like, I am the way I am. I am the way I am for a reason. Like, I'm not just broken and defective, but there were things that happened to me, and I responded to them the best I could to survive. And surviving sometimes, like, makes you messed up. But, you know, like, you did what was logical at the time, and what you did to preserve yourself, and then those patterns just became part of your life. They ingrained themselves into your personality, into your behaviors, and some of it was great, and some of it was real broken, and some of it was great for a while, but now that you're not in that traumatic situation, now it's like real broken and unnecessary. And if you know what I'm talking about, like, hi, I love you. I'm also so sorry. And I don't know, I hope this is helpful. Like, doing videos and stuff about mental illness is, like, really strange, because it's just, I don't know, it feels really strange, because, at least for me, because it's like half me putting me out there, and then half me being like, here are things I know. And it all does come from a place of me just, like, wanting to share, because, like, not knowing so much, like, hurt me so much. Like, not knowing hurt a lot, because then I just made a lot of assumptions that just, where I was just like nothing, or like worthless, or like just an awful human being, and to feel that way constantly, like, sucks. Like, it sucks, and it hurts, and it burns your friggin' soul. You know, if you think that you might have cPTSD, if you think you might have, like, a mental illness or any sort of disorder, and you're just suffering, like, please go get help. And I know it's not easy. If you don't have insurance, get Medi-Cal. Like, it's not perfect. Nothing is perfect, but, like, there are steps that you can take. So Medi-Cal, there are providers. Also, there's a lot of clinics, like, free clinics that people don't know about. And it's really hard, because when you have a mental illness, you don't want to do anything, and you want to avoid everything. But if you can find it in yourself to take steps, even if your step isn't going yourself, but just saying to someone, like, hey, I need help, which was my first step to therapy. after college when everything was like going bad, I just told my friend who I knew some therapists and stuff, and I just waved the white flag because I was just like, I don't know, I don't think I can do this anymore. Like that can be your first step. It doesn't just have to be all you. It can just be you asking for help. So take whatever step forward you can. And I know like I'm kind of like a crying mess right now, but like another reason why I really want to talk about this is because I know things get better. My life is way better than where it was like a few years ago, like 5 years ago, like more years ago, because I did a lot of therapy. I did a lot of self-help and self-work. And am I perfect now and cured? Like, no, I'm not. But like, I love my life now. I have some sort of semblance of self-esteem. I'm working on confidence. I have some confidence in some areas, and that's way better. That's like hundreds and hundreds of percents higher than what I had. And so I can't promise you that your life will be like all la-di-da and great, but it can be so much better. And you can experience a lot of joy. I have great people in my life now. I have really supportive people. I'm in my 30s and I'm like restarting my career and stuff. And so I'm working with younger people, and like sometimes, yes, I feel like, oh, I'm old and I missed my chance. But that's not really it. Because I'm still alive. I'm still alive, and therefore there's still a chance. You are still alive, and therefore there's still a chance. And I think that's really important to note. Not to just note, but really take hold of and like keep here. Because it's true, there is a chance. And I wish I could stop you from beating yourself up in your head and telling yourself that, you're like doo-doo and stuff, but I can't. I can tell you that I know what it's like to be there so deeply, and personally, I know what it feels like to give up. And I know what it feels like to recover. I know what it feels like to actually be in a healthy relationship. I know what it feels like to start forgiving yourself. I know what it feels like to actually go after your dreams again, even if it feels so weird after all this time. But there is a better life out there for you. Please don't let your mental illness take everything from you. You can take steps for your life to be better. And I think that's where I'm going to go, because I think I can ramble forever, but I think that was enough. So until next time, please create some happiness for yourself, whether that means you're going to journal and journal about maybe forgiving yourself, or maybe that means that you're going to go look up free clinics in your area and see if they have mental health services. It's your choice. Okay, peace out. Bye.